Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, That Model Railway Guy. Welcome to another live stream, welcome to the 2.5 thousand subscriber live stream again. Yes, hello everybody, take two on this one. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in tonight. Yeah, if you were here last night, then you'll have known that it was a bit of a train crash last night. Not quite literally, just figuratively last night. But yeah, I had massive issues with the internet, and by when I say I had massive issues with the internet, I mean I had no internet. So that made live streaming quite difficult. So yeah, sorry about that. I have now changed some things around. I've moved the router so that it's now sitting next to me instead of having to plug through various adapters and stuff. So we're plugged directly into the matrix this time, so to speak. So hopefully everything will work this time, but if you could all do like a little dance to the internet gods anyway, just, you know, to keep the stream up. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. Let's have a look at the chat just before we do get started. Oh, blimey, there's a lot of you here already. Wow, the chat is going crazy. Thank you so much everybody who has tuned in. I can see some of you from hello Evan Terry on the main line, Jack's Railways, the GWR 060, Luke SVR, Iron Horse Heathen, Shadow Architect, Robin Silver, Peter Clark, fantastic. So many of you guys here. Roof Railways as well, the Evening Star 92. That's fantastic. Anyway, the thing I feel I should mention though is that obviously this is a live stream for 2.5 thousand subscribers. And when I scheduled that last week, that was true. We just hit, the channel had just hit 2.5 thousand subscribers. And then over the weekend, you guys blew through 2.6 thousand subscribers, then 2.7 thousand subscribers, and then 2.8 thousand subscribers. This morning, I woke up and the channel was at 2.9 thousand subscribers. So at this point, we'll be doing a 3,000 subscriber live stream at the weekend, probably. I don't know. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? Would you want to see a live stream? Maybe we'll do one next week. Would you guys want to see a live stream so close together like that? Would you rather I wait a bit? Yeah. Anyway, the one thing I do want to mention, which I mentioned on the stream last night, but I'm sort of assuming that people couldn't really hear me properly or weren't really sure what was going on. I am taking requests tonight, so if you want me to run a specific loco, then do let me know. You can send in a super chat, and in fact, I'll show you the loco roster that we have. So this is all the locos that we have, that I have currently on the layout. The reason I've restricted it to these is just so that I'm not running around trying to get different locos from different places. And also, I'm running on DCC at the moment for tonight, and these are the locos that I currently have DCC decoders in. So those are kind of the ones you want to choose from. So, if basically you want to see one of those locos run on the live stream tonight, then let me know, send in a super chat, and you'll get a little thing will pop up on the screen, and that will let me know that you want to see a specific loco run, and I will run that loco especially for you. So, let's have a look. What have we actually got here? We've got the W4 Peckett, the J36, the Ruston 48DS, the Schools class, the SE and CRP class, the Midland 1F, the J94/Austerity, the J15, the E1/the J72, the Terrier, which is Stepney in that lovely, what is it, the improved engine green. And then we have another Peckett, the B2 Peckett, and then the Sentinel. I will say, if you choose the Sentinel, that one is a terrible runner. It's going to stall all over the place, so it'll less be a running session and more me pushing the engine along. So, yeah, I mean, you can suggest that if you want to. You can send in a super chat if you really want to see that one. But yeah, probably you're gonna be better off having one of the others. Anyway, let's show you all the different shots we've got tonight. This will again be sort of is kind of just, you know, a bit of an overview. Oh, I've just noticed that camera's a little bit wonky. Let's just move that slightly. There we go, the bottom right there. Right, so, yeah, we've got some lovely camera angles for you today. And then we've also got this one as well, which I'm quite a big fan of. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But, yeah, let's have a look at that. Now, we do have some super chats that came in last night on the live stream that all went horribly wrong. So I said I would definitely honour those, and I would do those again. So the first one... There you go. Hopefully that's just popped up on screen for you now and you heard that. So Radislaw Sosha, and they asked to see the P class, the SE and CRP class with a railgun. I think this is a bit of a running joke now. I don't actually own a railgun. So instead he said, could I run some of the new Hornby coaches, which I've taken to mean the... I've taken to mean the... what do you call them? The Hornby six-wheel coaches. So, yeah. Hopefully... Oh, I've just closed a tab that I needed open. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling from me. Let's get a loco actually running. And hopefully, if you just look behind the factory there, you should see an engine starting to make its way out. And that is the P-Class with the wonderful little six-wheel coaches from L&ER, well, from Hornby, really. Yeah, I do really like these coaches. Oh, it's having a bit of trouble with that. That's interesting. Do you know what I think it is? Fantastic, right. It is, right, the engine is being a bit stuttery. I know what it is, though. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to put it there. It only does this in reverse. Sorry, you might see the hand of God just come in there. I had to fiddle around with the motor a bit earlier on. I don't think I put the body back on quite right. But as you can see, it's running fine in reverse. It's just when it's got a bit of weight behind it, the motor doesn't quite engage with the cogs. So it's a little bit... So yeah, that's one of the few faults with the P-Class I've found, really, is that the worm drive and from the motor doesn't really engage into the... it doesn't really engage into the cogs or the gearing particularly well, which is a bit of a shame. But aside from that, it runs really, really nicely. So yeah, as you can see, let's go to that shot. You can kind of get a nice look there at the SE, at the L&ER coaches, which I suppose not particularly prototypical running those with an SE and CR with an engine, but yeah, then nothing else is prototypical on the layout. So why would anything else be? Yeah, anyway, I suppose they can pass for kind of like metropolitan coaches almost, or something like that. I don't know. They're slightly... I don't know. Anyway. So yes, we have had a few other super chats to come in as well. So let me bring some of those up so we can get both of those on the layout at the same time. Redvers B, I believed, he sent in a super chat for... he wanted to see the Midland 1F. There you go. Hopefully that's just popped up on screen for you now. So yeah, he asked to see the Midland 1F, which, you know, honestly, I was a little bit worried about this loco because I thought it wasn't a particularly good runner on DC. It was all right, but it had a tendency to stall quite a lot. And if we just go to this shot now, hopefully you'll see that since I put a decoder in it, it's actually gotten much better. You're going to see the wagons coming through, hopefully. There you go. I do like this shot. It is a nice shot. It's a bit of a view from Pickwick Yard that you don't see all that often. There we go. And here it is, just coming into the sidings now. And I need to remember to watch it in real life and not on the screen, because I will crash it. There's a little bit. There's like half a second delay on the. There's a half a second delay on the screen. What I see on the screen, and that can prove a little bit fatal on a shunting layout. So yeah, right. Let me just move. We'll just move some of the points. We're going to have a little bit of a more chilled running session today. I was a bit nervous about this one because of all the faff with the internet yesterday, and so I'm hoping that it's all working fine. I'll check the live stream chat in a minute, but yeah. Let's have a look at this shot here. This one's a bit of an awkward one because the camera doesn't focus properly when the loco gets close to it. It does autofocus, but only if... yeah, actually, I'm really impressed with how this loco is running. It's really, really nice slow speed, actually, which it never did on DC. Well, actually, it would do this on DC, but it would just stall every few feet, so... Or every few scale feet, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. So yeah, so those are the 2 super chats that we have at the moment. There was another one that came in early this morning as well. But yeah, so we've got the wonderful Bachmann Midland 1F, which is a lovely little loco. This reminds me of the Ginty quite a lot. I was sort of actually planning on getting a Ginty, and then I saw these were on. Sorry, I just looked at the chat for a moment, then I get completely distracted. But I've just seen that Redversby is in the chat. Hello, Redversby. I do hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, as you say, you're watching with the sound off, so you can't hear me. But you know, I'm talking to nobody. But we are running your loco for you. That's what you wanted to see. So hopefully you can see that. And then we also have the wonderful SE and CRP class in the sidings there. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because this engine doesn't like running with these coaches, or it doesn't like running with a bit of a load behind it in reverse, I'm just sort of going to disconnect it from here. Sorry, I'm going to go a bit quiet now, and you're going to see my hand come in as I start faffing around with the coupling. Got my handy little hook here, which is what I use to uncouple the carriages and wagons during a live stream. Just makes it a little bit easier. Shadow Architect says, I thought the 1F was a Ginty. I don't know, maybe it is. I thought the Ginties were 3Fs, but then my knowledge of loco history as such is terrible. So, you know, I'm happy to be corrected on that. There's not many things that I do know about, to be honest. Blimey, I've just looked at the chat, and I've just looked at the live stream, and we've got nearly 60 people watching, which is fantastic. Hello, everybody. Lovely to have you here. I'm so glad that the internet seems to be holding up much better this time. Right, what was I going to do? Oh yes, I was going to run the P class, wasn't I? I just felt it was a good idea perhaps to run this on its own. Sorry, Hand of God coming in here again just to flip those points. So yes, we have the Hornby coaches out on the track, but seeing as the P class doesn't want to pull those, I'm going to run it light engine for a bit. I hope that's okay, Radislaw Sasha. And let's actually switch to that shot so you can see. Lots of people in the chat saying the Ginties are 3Fs. So yeah, I presume then that means that the Ginties were like or the 1Fs were like sort of, you know, it continued on. I presume there was a 2F at some point, or was that something completely different? But yeah, perhaps they were like a sort of a continuation of you know, the design, like you know, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to try and worry about it too much. Oh, I've just switched that shot a bit early, but you will get to see a very nice shot of the P-Class coming into this shot, and we'll see it nice and close up here. I do love this camera angle because it allows you to get really nice and close down to the engine. Oh, fantastic. As Radislaw Sasha has just donated again. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Do you want to choose another engine, seeing as you've donated again? That's awesome. Thank you so much. But don't forget, those are all the different engines. If there's anything that you want to choose from there, just let me know in a comment, and I'll try and keep an eye out for you. And if I miss it on the chat this time, I'll try and catch it on either the next one. That goes for anyone, by the way. If you want to send in a super chat, and then you'll get a you can choose which of these locos that you want to see. But for the moment, let's go back to Radislaw Sasha's the P class that he requested. So yeah, I think with mine, it's just the motor doesn't engage properly with the. It's because I was messing around with it earlier. I had the body off. I was fiddling around with the DCC chip because I wanted to make sure it was going to run properly tonight. And in doing that, I just don't think I've seated the motor back into the into the housing properly. It's fine when it's running light, but if it runs in reverse and it's pulling the coaches, because those Hornby coaches are quite heavy because they're quite stiff. I think it's pulling on the motor a bit, and it's just slipping against the gears. But yeah, right. Let's. Oh, Radislaw Sasha said next time let other guys choose. Well, that's very kind of you. If you change your mind, do let me know. Anyway, so this is the P class. So I think the P class has done very well. Let's see if it'll run backwards. Oh yes, it'll run backwards when it's light, when it's just not when it's pulling anything. Oh, we should go back to this shot, really, shouldn't we, so that we can see it. I'm seeing a lot of requests for the W4, so maybe I'll run the W4 packet, seeing as lots of people want to see that. And here it is, coming back into the fiddle yard. So this camera is pretty much in the fiddle yard. So yeah, there you go. Liam Goff says, may I ask what your largest locomotive is, excluding the A4? Well, if you exclude the A4, probably my A3. I do have a Flying Scotsman somewhere. As you may know if you've been watching my channel for a while, I don't really tend to do big locos. I quite like the small sort of charming industrial stuff, hence the layout. Shadow Architect says he's getting a W4 soon. Oh, that's fantastic. Evan Terry says, did you steal the idea of requests and super chats from Sam's Trains? No, not at all. Never even heard of him. No, absolutely, I stole the idea from him. Yeah, it just seemed like a good way to let people know so that I didn't miss any, because it flashes up on screen, it makes it feel like a special event. And anyway, speaking of super chats, we still have the wonderful, we've got the, let's see, we have the Midland 1F. Sorry, I totally blanked on the name there. And I'm just going to flip these points again so that we can run this. We'll run this forward. Nice smooth start off there. Yeah, this loco has become one of my favourites to run in the last few days, which is really, really fantastic. I'm really pleased with how well it runs. Look, I mean, look at that slow speed. It never did this on DCC. I say that and it'll cut out on these points now, I bet. I'm just waiting for it to... No, it's done it over the dodgy Insel Frog points. That's incredible. I'm really quite chuffed with that, if you'll pardon the pun. There you go. You can see it coming into the sidings now. God, it is such a nice smooth runner, isn't it? And there we go. And so what I'll do is you'll just see the hand of God come in to flip the points. There we go. Maybe someday I should actually sort out some kind of automatic point switching. It would have been much easier if I'd just said point motors, wouldn't it? I don't know if I want to kind of make the layout too complicated though. Anyway, let's. I sort of quite like the simple charm of it, but it would make live streams a bit easier. And there we go. We can just see it exiting out of the fiddle, out of the. What am I talking about? We can just see it exiting the layout there. There's a lot going on back here behind the scenes that you can't see it. While in the brief moments where trains are actually running, I'm then trying to set up the next train to get it on the track and ready to move. And then I need to switch to this shot so you can see it coming into the fiddle yard. And as you can see, those wagons have got the custom coal loads in them as well that I made. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely do check that out because it was good fun to make those. So there we go. Right, so that, I'm just trying to look over the top of my laptop to see where the engine has ended up in the fiddle yard, and that is good. Right, so we did have another super chat come in early this morning. I don't know if it's still showing up in the chat. No, yeah, I don't know if it's showing up in the chat at the moment, but Sparky129, there you go, that's up on the screen now. Hopefully you're watching now, but they asked to see Stepney, to see the terrier, so I am more than happy to oblige, and seeing as we have the... oh, hello. It's just suddenly decided to start misbehaving. Tell you what, let me close the app that I'm using to control the trains, and then we'll restart it and hope. Oh, do you know what it was? Do you know what it is? Fatal flaw. I didn't switch the points. Yeah, it helps if your trains actually have power so that they can move. So yeah, thank you so much to Sparky129 who requested to see Stepney. That's absolutely fantastic, and hopefully you can see it just making its way under the camera now. And making its way onto the layout. And here we go. I'll run this all the way in. And let's go. Where should we go? we'll go to this shot here. Get a nice close-up look at the terrier. And actually what I think we'll do is we'll get it to take those coaches away. Because it's kind of similar to the P-Class, isn't it? And we've left those coaches there. So yeah. Matthew Ford says, whoa, I like these message whistles. Yeah, they are cool, aren't they? I wanted to make it sort of feel a bit like an event. Like, you know, if your name pops up on screen, I wanted it to feel cool. So not only do you get a loco of your choice to run, but you also get your name sort of shouted out on the screen. So yeah, that's really cool. So if you do fancy super chatting anybody, that is the thing to do, and it'll mean we have some more locos to run. We've got to do the W4 Peckett. I know that because lots of people were asking for that earlier on. And Radislaw Sosha kindly donated opened up his second super chat of the stream to everybody. So there were lots of things there. Shadow Architect says the Dapple egg vans are vans of egg. What is that? Oh, see, that's in response to Michael Wiles, who says Dapple egg vans. It's where the real action is. Yeah, I've seen Sam's trains, his live streams where not all goes to plan as such. Yeah, I suppose. Even though I'd rather have some massive derailments than I would lose all the internet, but yeah, a bit of a interesting one. Let's have a little wide shot of the terrier there. I do love terriers. They're very nice. They're really charming locos. Maybe I should get another one. What do we think? This one's actually behaving today, which is quite nice. It's been a bit temperamental recently. Sometimes it's all right, and then sometimes it is a little bit of a. It's a little bit of a. Oh, I can't remember what I was going to say. Sometimes it stalls, basically, is what I was going to say, but it's not doing that today, so never mind. Sorry, I get very easily distracted by watching the chat and trying to switch cameras and running trains, and yeah, my tiny mind can't keep up with it. So we'll just run the terrier in nice and slowly, and we'll couple up to these two coaches that we have here. Nice slow coupling, hopefully. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I'm sort of really enjoying being able to kind of run sort of trains on DCC. It's a new experience to me, but one that I thoroughly am enjoying. Right, let's get the W4 Peckett out then, because lots of people have been wanting to see that. So, yeah, let's switch back to this shot here, and you'll just see the hand of God coming in again. Right. Fingers crossed this works. I will say that the terrier has been a bit funny lately, which is surprising because it has been one of my better runners. But hopefully today it's not going to let me down. There we go. It's making its way out onto the thing now with a couple of... I suppose really what I should have done is I should have run some egg vans. I don't actually have any of the Dapple ones. I've been thoroughly put off of those. But yes, as you can see, here it is now, just making its way onto the stream. So thank you, Radislaw Sosha, for oh, I've just run it into the buffers. Wonder what this looks like on the, yeah, you can kind of see the buffer. You can kind of see the wagons on the buffers there, but not much of a shot of the terrier, I'm afraid. So let's go back to that other one. Yeah. So. I've just looked at the chat. Jack's Railway says, hi, that model railway guy. How do you live stream? Well, do you want the long answer or the short answer? I mean, the short answer is, you know, anyone can live stream from their phone, I believe, and you just, you know, you sign into the YouTube app and you just press go live and you can do it from your phone. I do it in a very complicated way because obviously I've got lots of cameras and I've got, you know, sound and all these alerts going on, and I basically have made it extra complicated for myself. So yeah, if you do it like that, then there's various bits of software out there that help you sort of, you know, put in multiple cameras, and we'll run the terrier while I'm jabbering on because, you know, we want to see some trains running. So yeah, so there's lots of different things. There's open broadcast software. There's Streamlabs, which is kind of a variation on that. There is lots of different ones. Wirecast, I believe, is one. I used to use that a while ago when I was doing it sort of for not companies, but like production things. So yeah, it sort of depends how complicated you want to make it, really. But yeah, Russell Benton says that's a lot of pork scratchings. Yes, indeed it is. I'm running the terrier very slowly, and I'm actually surprised that it's managed to maintain this speed. I expect now that will be the cue for it to stall. There we go. It's literally stalled as I said that. Yeah. All right. It nearly made it all the way to the end of the layout, but that's fine. I'll give it that. It stalled in the fiddle yard, which I haven't cleaned the track of properly because I was lazy. Right, so thank you to Sparky129, I believe, that asked to see the terrier. That's really cool. Thank you so much for suggesting that. Let's go back to the Peckett, because we want to see a bit more of the Peckett, don't we? I think those pork scratchings that are in those vans, they need to go to the dock, really, don't they? They need to be given to the factory. So we won't keep them waiting because they'll be wanting their lunch. Or their dinner. They'll be wanting pork scratchings either way. There we go. Gregory Little says, which one of your two layouts do you like more? Oh, I've not really quite cleared the points there. Let me just ease the engine up a bit more. There we go. It's one of the things I do love about DCC is I can actually do that reliably. By the way, if you can hear like weird noises in the background, that's my chair sort of creaking underneath me. It's nothing else. Yes, Gregory Little asked, which one of my two layouts do I like more? I think it has to be the modular layout, really. Oh, there we go. The Peckett's just stalled. I'm not surprised, really. Here we go. Hand of God coming in. Yeah, the points on this layout are a bit... They are dodgy. Oh, it's a shame, because the Peckett is usually such a good runner. I'll just run it a little bit fast. You know what? It's normally... All the engines that I've been saying do well haven't been running properly today. Go on. Get a move on. There we go. Right. Oh, come on. Stop being a... There we go. Might need its wheels cleaning, that one. Although, that said, I thought I only did it the other day, so I'm a little bit surprised. But, yeah, there you go. You can see it in the thing. Pete Clark says, blame the chair. Yeah, right. Be a bit odd, it would be a slightly odd sound for me to be making, I'll be honest. It's like a kind of metal grinding. Yeah, so... What am I doing? Oh, I tell you what. Let's run the Peckett light for a bit, shall we? I'll do my sort of uncoupling job again, shall I? Right, I'm going to go quiet a bit because I'm standing behind the microphone instead of in front of it, which is generally not good practice. But you will see my hand come in just to uncouple this wagon here. Oh, I just need to move that. There we go. Yes, this is why on the modular layout I need to have automatic uncouplers to avoid me doing stuff like that, because that is how engines derail. Right, let's get this running again. Yeah, the modular layout has to be my favourite layout, if I'm perfectly honest. Pickwick Yard, I love this layout because I started building it as a teenager. I laid the track and sort of I made the base. Well, the baseboards are 2 shells, so I didn't really make them. But I sort of put it all together over the course of like 12 years. Like I started making it when I was a teenager, then sort of forgot about it, and then kind of finished it off like a year or 2 ago. So it was always meant to be kind of like a quick, small shunting layout, just something to kind of get me going until I was ready, or until I had the sort of the necessary skills and the time to build something bigger. And the modular layout is kind of the layout that I've always wanted, really, if that makes sense. I've always wanted to build something much bigger. And so, yeah, I'm excited that I now get to build that. That said, the modular layout isn't finished yet, and Pickwick Yard very much is. Although I do have to admit that I am looking into... Actually, do you know, I was going to stop it there, but I'm going to run it all the way up to the siding, because I think it's worth having a look at this engine properly. There we go. It's behaving a bit better now, actually. So yeah, I suppose at least Pickwick Yard is finished. Like, it's, you know, there's not much more I could do to it. Although that said, I was thinking the other day about a possible extension I could make. So I suppose now everyone will be getting excited that I'm going to be doing that. But if I was going to do that, it wouldn't happen for a while. The modular layout is definitely much the focus. Evan Terry says, how long till the live stream ends? At least another half an hour. We'll definitely go till 8:30, and then we'll see how everyone feels after that. Yeah. Oh, it stopped again. Right, it stopped right at the other end of the room, so I've got to go over to it. Let's, hand of God coming in again. There we go. Get moving. All right, let's speed it up a bit. We'll give it a fighting chance. Yeah, the Peckett's normally a really good runner, but don't know why it's suddenly decided not to be. Still, we'll run it into this little shot here. I don't really have a plan. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be perfectly honest. I'm just sort of moving things around. But I do quite... Pecketts are one of those locos I quite like seeing them travel cab first. I don't know why. They just sort of seem very charming from every angle. Even when they are sort of out of focus and blurry, like it is now. Right. Tell you what, let's get another loco out then, shall we? If anyone wants to, if anyone wants to suggest a loco, feel free to send in send in a super chat. This is the loco roster for tonight, so you can see these are all the engines that we have ready to go on the track. So if you would like to see one of these specifically, do let me know. Send in a super chat with your request, and yeah, we've had quite a few so far. We've had 4 already, I believe, so that's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who does super chat. Like I say, you get your loco run on the layout and you get your name flashing up on the screen and everything, so that would be really cool if we can get some extra little locos running tonight. But let's, for now, we'll go back to the Peckett, shall we, and we'll get that running. If I can find the oh no, that's the wrong shot. There we go, there's the Peckett. I found it. I don't really know why I ran it up here, to be perfectly honest. I think I thought I was going to do something else, and then I realised I didn't have anything to do. Michael Wiles says 48DS. Yeah, we can definitely run the 48DS if you want. If you send in a super chat, I'd be more than happy to do that. There's no limit or anything, so, you know, just put in what you feel is right. If any, oh, I totally missed that one. Then let's go back to the shot. Then see, I missed it. So let's switch these points again, and we'll do something with those pork scratchings, because I think they've had plenty of time to unload them now. So they haven't done it all. If they haven't done it by now, they've missed their opportunity. On the main line says, very sorry, I have to go now. Goodbye, stay safe and take care all. Bye on the main line. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to have you for this long. And yeah, hopefully you can catch up with the rest of the stream at some point. It will be archived, so if you want to catch up with it, you can do that. And then we'll just run this back into that siding to catch up with those, to just pick up those pork vans. Here we go, coming in. Can we do a nice smooth coupling? Oh, there we go. That's about as smooth as I can do. Shadow Architect says Sentinel would be funny since it never runs right. Yeah, it would indeed be. It would be, well, it might be funny for you, less so for me. I'd just be up running around after it all the time. Right, let's run. We'll run the Peckett out, and we'll bring it back with something else, shall we? Russell Benton says, it's amazing how relaxing just watching shunting can be. Love seeing that at exhibitions. Yeah, it is good fun, isn't it? I do sort of think that these streams are sort of a nice way to chill out and sort of just be part of the community, you know, especially when we can't go to exhibitions or heritage railways and stuff like that at the moment. It does make a big difference. And I've just realised that there's actually no space in the fiddle yard, so I'm going to just have to... Right, well, I've just about managed to squeeze it in, but I'm going to have to do some messing around now to get everything in the right place. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves while I do. Well, actually, I say talk amongst yourselves, but I'm doing it now, and so I guess I'll carry on talking. So I'm just going to move some engines around and move some wagons out of the way, and hopefully we'll end up with everything in the right place at the end of this. I hope. Right, let me... Ooh, now, I'm thinking, can I be ambitious? Now, we were talking about the Dapple egg vans earlier and how likely they were to crash. I'm just wondering, I might try running my mineral wagons. You may remember I built some of these kits a while back. Yeah, we'll go for it. Well, let's see what happens. They might derail because they don't like the old Hornby points. But we'll just run a couple of them and see what happens. Right, let's flip these points. Oh. And I'm just putting a loco on the track. And hopefully you can hear something making its way onto the layout now. It should just be coming under the camera as you can see now. It is the J94. Oh, let me just flip that point there. This is my choice for tonight. This is the one I want to run. This is my super chat. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I managed to get a DCC decoder in this, because all the other engines that I've done so far, they've been DCC ready. But this one isn't. These are based on the old Dapple engines. So I suppose it's probably quite fitting that I'm running a Dapple engine, or an ex-Dapple engine. They are Hornby now, of course. But I'm running it with the Dapple mineral wagons. But yeah, it's a really, really nice run of this. And I'm really pleased that it sort of maintained its slow speed running characteristics. Let's swap to that shot there so you can see a bit more of it. But yeah, it's a really nice slow runner, as you can see now. It'll take a while to do this, and it doesn't cut out all that often as well, so I suppose I've jinxed it now. I'm going to just speed it up ever so slightly. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just as I switched the cameras, it stalled. Let's get the hand of God to come in and just get it going again. There we go. But yeah, considering these locos are what, like 20, 30 years old now, these models, not this particular, but I mean this one is particular as well. I mean, I got this, yeah. So we'll put this, there we go, that's just up into the factory there. Shadow Architect says, how hard is it to DCC the W4, and what tools do you need to DCC fit engines? The W4 is actually fairly easy. The only difficulty with it is that you have to, as far as I know, use Hornby's 4-pin decoder. That's the only thing I think that is slightly different with it. Just because it's been, just because it's basically designed for it's a very small engine is what I'm saying, and it needs a very small decoder to go in it. And so most engines have most engines from Hornby, I should say, have either a 6-pin or an 8-pin decoder or a socket that they need to fit an 8-pin or a 6-pin decoder into. The W4 Peckett and the Sentinel, I believe, are the two outliers in that occasion. They need a 4-pin decoder, and the only people who make a 4-pin decoder, as far as I know, is Hornby, because everyone else basically has standardized on stuff like 6-pin decoders and Next 18 and all the small N-gauge decoders and stuff that come out. So yeah, but aside from that, basically all you need is a screwdriver. There's two screwdrivers. One at there's two screws, one at the front, one at the back, just under the body, like between the wheels. The whole body comes off, and then you can just plug the loco in. You just got to fiddle around with the wires to make sure that everything's in the right place, and basically make sure that nothing metal on the decoder is touching anything metal on the loco chassis or the body. Radislaw Sasha says, yeah, the 4-pin decoders, they're out of stock now. Oh, that's a shame. I think... So are they going to make any more? That's the. Is it just, are they temporarily out of stock? I can't believe that's going to be the case because, yeah, it's that would be a bit of a shame because the Peckets are so popular. That feels a little bit like they're shooting themselves in the foot if they do that. I'll be honest. Steve Strange UK says, could you run the J15? Yeah, absolutely. I could run the J15. If you send in a super chat for it, that would be awesome. And yeah, and likewise, if anyone else wants to, have one of these locos run, if you send in a super chat, your name will pop up on the screen, and we'll run your loco for you. So yeah, so we're kind of trialing that out tonight just to see if people enjoy kind of having that. And yeah, so I'm just checking the chat again. But yeah, as for let me go back to the. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna uncouple the J94 and I'm gonna do it while I've got this screen up, so that you don't have to see my hand making an absolute mess of this. There we go. We'll go back to that engine now. Oh, it's actually in focus as well. Oh, brilliant! The autofocus has kicked in. Well, that's wonderful. The one thing I will say about this, about fitting the decoder into the J94 here, because I had to hardwire it in instead of using a plug, I had to sort of, you know, unsolder all the wires from the motor and everything and reconnect them up. I definitely put the wires round the wrong way because as a result, this engine runs in reverse. So if you press forward, it goes backwards, and if you press backwards, it goes forward, which is why it's facing the other way around on the layout. So yeah. There we go. There's a nice little shot of it there. Very saturated, that shot, isn't it? The green is really popping out there in comparison to this one here, which is a little bit more realistic, shall we say. And then we'll just bring this in here. Look at that slow speed. God, absolutely fantastic. Right, well, I think let's bring the 1F back in, because that's what we had running earlier on. And I enjoyed running that. Let's put together a different train, shall we? I'm just sort of faffing around with this. And just a moment of silence while I put some wagons on the layout. And then we'll just flip some points. Right, let's go back to this overhead shot that we've got in the fiddle yard here. Have I got the loco on the track? Yes, indeed I do. And off it goes. Here it comes. Got a little bit of a fish train now. I say fish train because you might just be able to see on the stream that the wagons are all like fish wagons of some sort, which I know is not a particularly obvious thing, but I mean, yeah, it's fine fish, fish fingers. What is that? What's the other one? What's the Northstown one? Has that actually got? I mean, it says limited fish docks on it, so I'm going to assume it's something to do with fish. Evan Terry says you could change that on the CVs. I presume that. That is based on, that's talking about the J94. Yeah, I know, I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I put decoders in most of these engines like yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before. And so, as a result, I just haven't gotten around to, I mean, I need to still do a lot of fiddling around with bits and pieces just to get everything working properly. And you know, I haven't even put any acceleration or anything. Oh, do you know what? Let me stop that loco there because I haven't changed the points. There we go. That'll help. Yeah, generally helps. If I wouldn't be a very good signalman, would I? It's a good job. I'm not training to be a signalman on a heritage railway. And there we go. Simon DL says, watching with my mum on the TV, really enjoying it, thank you. Oh, thank you, Simon, really glad to have you with us, and your mum as well. Shout out to your mum. Was that like the cheesiest thing I've ever done on a live stream? No, absolutely not. There we go. The J94 is making its way back into the fiddle yard. It does make a little bit of a noise, that one, because it's an older loco, but it did that on DC as well. So I'm not too worried about it. So while we've got this lovely overhead shot here, I'm going to disconnect the W4. Oh, actually, do you know what? That wagon. Sorry, I've gone quiet again. That wagon only had one coupling, or it didn't have a coupling hook on it, so it was much easier to disconnect the Midland 1F from it. So let's go back to you kind of see it in that shot, but not really. So let's go to this one. Ford Hill branch line says sounds fishy. Yes, indeed. Evan Terry says crash and derailments left, right, and centre if you're a signalman. Yes, very true. Although I would like to say I think it's only because I'm trying to control the locos, change the points, and run the live stream and monitor the chat at the same time. So I think I can be forgiven for that, surely. It's multitasking to the extreme here. Let's just have a look at the Midland 1F from this shot here. Just because, you know, the signal box is actually the bit that's in focus. So there we go. Nice smooth stop there. What time are we on? Oh, it's coming up to 8:20. How are we all feeling? Is everyone enjoying themselves? Oh, we've got 60 people watching. That's fantastic. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching tonight. It's really good. Greg McDonald says, nice job. What controller are you using? Ever heard of a Hammond & Morgan, the HM3000 controller? It's old, from the 1980s, I think. Yes, well, I haven't heard of that one specifically, but didn't they have some sort of arrangement with Hornby? Because they have the HM2000. Now, is that just a coincidence, or am I jumping to the right conclusion there that they're involved in some way? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Chris Howes says, what will be your next loco purchase? That's a tricky one. Well, I've got a few on pre-order. I really don't know. It depends what comes out first. So, as for what I've got on pre-order, I've got the SE and CRD class from Dapol. I've got that on pre-order. I say actually, I've got the Locomotion one. I've got it on order from Locomotion because I want the preserved one that's in the Railway Museum. So very much looking forward to that. I suppose that's coming out. I hear that's coming out later this year. Hopefully summertime is what they said, I think. Don't quote me on that though, because I know if I say it here, then someone will, get the wrong end of the stick and report it as if it was fact, which it was just me mouthing off on a stream about it. As we couple up to these wagons. Oh, blimey! I pressed the wrong button, and I very much smashed the wagons into the buffers there. Well, that's just reminded me. I didn't actually reply to Greg McDonald, who asked what controller I was using. I'm using the Rocco Z21. So it's a DCC system. It's like a little box that sits, next to your layout, and it's got a Wi-Fi router attached to it. And then I can basically control the engines and the DCC decoders inside them using. Well, at the moment I'm using my iPad because I'm using my phone as a camera. But yes, I can use my phone as well, and so anyone who joins up to that network can then download the app and run their trains. So on that note, Kurt TV says, is your layout DC or DCC? It's kind of both. This one was built with DC in mind, but it's currently running on DCC because I've just switched over to DCC, and therefore I'm kind of getting used to all that. Kurt TV says, if you've not got a Class 66, will you get one? I suppose I could. I don't have any plans to get one. There was the Hattons one that came out, was it last year? And the sort of the reviews on that were kind of a bit mixed, I saw, weren't they? So, I don't know. I have to admit, modern image isn't really my thing. I'm not particularly clued up on it, and I'm not particularly great with how it all works. And so, considering that the layout I'm building at the moment is intended to be a preserved railway, I don't know, can you justify a Class 66 on a preserved railway? Probably not, unless there's some sort of like mainline link and a connection to do infrastructure work or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, if locos weren't so expensive, I would be more inclined to pick up a Class 66 just, you know, for the hell of it, just so that I could review it. But you know, you have to be quite careful. Well, I have to be quite careful anyway with what locos how much I spend on locos. Otherwise I end up spending far too much, as I've just evidenced by saying that I'm currently awaiting for the D class, which is absolutely the the most I've ever paid for a loco. I say that I've not paid for it yet, but yeah. I'm not looking forward to that. Well, I'm looking forward to getting the loco. I'm not looking forward to the bill that comes with it. But I think it's, that's the way things are going, isn't it? The locos are edging up towards the 200 mark. We've seen it break in a few other places. Is it Bachmann? They're doing the precedent, aren't they? Which is £230 or something ridiculous like that. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic loco and it looks great. But that's just too much for me to spend on a loco that it is kind of like, it would be nice to have, but I don't really have any functional use for it. I suppose if you're modelling the LNWR, then great. You've probably been waiting for one of those for your entire life at this point, but yes. Sorry, I'm just getting more trains set up, and I'm just trying to get the Peckett running again. And here it comes under the camera now. There you go. I have to remember to run this one a bit faster just so that it makes it over the points. But it's actually doing it all right now. Oh, there we go. Just making its way on there. Oh, I didn't think it was going to connect then. I thought it was just going to push it into the buffers, but it did eventually. Matthew Hobbs Railway says, yes, I have to hold back, else I'd end up buying loads. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's, yeah, as I've just evidenced by talking about it. Right, well, it's 25 past now, so I guess we'll go for another 5 minutes, unless anyone wants to get some last-minute super chats in. If you desperately want to see a particular loco run, these are the locos that we have. This is the loco roster for today. So if you would like to see one of those locos run, this is your last chance. So send in a super chat and let me know which loco you want to run. Your name will pop up on the screen in a big way. And then I'll run that loco for you. So yeah, we've had some. Thank you so much to everybody who has sent in super chats so far. So I believe it was Radislav Sasha sent in 2, and who else? Sparky129 and then Redvers B. They also sent in super chats. So yeah, if you'd like to join that list, and basically if you want to get my attention, yes, but. Yeah, anyway, let's go back to this shot here. We've got the terrier. We'll run something else around, but while we're waiting, but yeah. Russell Benton says, I've got the Caledonian 82 on order. Is it the 82 or is it the 822? I think that's just a typo. Or is it the 882? I don't know. Anyway, I know what he means. He means the nice blue engines, because he said it should be a magnificent in blue, but £200 is eye-watering. Yeah, I'm very much in the same boat with the D-Class. I mean, the D-Class is an engine I've wanted for ages. I'm getting it in the SECR livery as well. So yeah, it's one of those things. I would love to have one of the Caledonian engines that Bachmann is making, but it's just one of those situations where I can't justify it because for that sort of money, I have to go with the SECR class, with the D class, sorry, because that's more. I suppose that's more what I. You know what I'm saying. There's no point in me bashing or beating the bush or whatever. I'm just going around in circles now, aren't I? Which is ironic because I'm on a shunting layout. So yeah. Anyway, we'll run these in again. We've got a few more minutes left, so let's see if I can do a quick speed round. We'll get the J94 out again, just because I enjoy running it, and I'm quite pleased with how that conversion has gone. I'll put all the coal wagons that I've got together, and I have to say I'm quite pleased that the live stream has held up this time. So let's flip some points. But yeah, it looks like everything has. Sort of worked fine this time. So hopefully it's all been good from your ends. Here comes the J94 again. Again, a lovely little loco. And we've got quite a few wagons behind it this time. Actually, it's just occurred to me that I maybe don't have space in the sidings for all these wagons and the loco. But we shall see. This will be interesting. Right, everyone cross your fingers and hope that this engine that we can fit everything into the sidings. Or do you know what? We're going to do it. It's fine. We're good. Oh, John Smith has just done a super chat for £5. Says, fantastic live stream. Would love to see the J15. Is that going to pop up on the stream? It should pop up on the stream. I'm a bit disappointed that it hasn't. Maybe it'll pop up in a minute. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John. That hasn't turned up. But we will definitely get the J15 running for you. Let me put it on the track. Tell you what, actually, let me. Right. Oh! There we go. It's popped up on stream now. The internet gods have smiled on me again, and they've made everything work. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, John Smith. We will get that. I'm going to take it at face value that is your real name, and that it's not a joke, or that it's. Yeah, thank you so much for sending in that super chat. We will definitely get the the J15 running now. Let me just put these wagons in this siding, and we shall get the J15 out. And yeah, once the J15, I think once we've run the J15 a bit, that's when we'll end, because we've just hit half past. So let's get the J15 on the layout. We shall switch to this shot now, and hopefully, oh, it's a lovely runner, this one. It's so smooth. It's a real joy. Do you know what, John? I'm really glad you suggested this loco, because it's such a fantastic runner. What a great way to end the live stream. Here it is, just coming into shot now. Travelling light. Because let's be honest, if I ran it with anything else, I wouldn't have space for anything else. You can just see the back of the J94 there as well. Oh, hello, hang on. No, I've gone the wrong way. Let's back it up. We'll back it up a bit. Because I've realised if I do that, I don't have anywhere for the J94 to go. Which is going to be a bit of an issue. Right, let's do that. We'll flip those points, and we shall bring it into the siding. Oh, you can just see, I mean, it's got a nice big flywheel in it, which is just fantastic. And makes it such a lovely smooth run of this engine. Yeah, an absolute joy to run. Just going to let you enjoy it running, to be honest. Also, while I uncouple the other engines. There you go. Let's get you a better shot of that. There you go. You can see it a bit better now. So thank you so much, John, for suggesting this. Yeah, that's really cool. I have to say, this is one of my favourite locos. I'm really looking forward to getting this on the layout now that I've got a DCC decoder in it. I had the J36 had a decoder in it, and yeah, after that I knew I definitely needed to get one in the J15 because it's such a good runner. I'm really tempted to get one of these in the LNER livery. If I can find one at a good price, I will do it. They were selling quite cheap a while ago, like just before Christmas. They were selling them for like 60, 70 quid or something. And I thought, oh yeah, I might get one of them. I missed my opportunity, and now they've all sold out. I can't find them anywhere. So I'm kind of annoyed about that. But right, let's get the J94 out of the way, and then we can have the J15 pick these wagons up. There you go. 2 engines in the same shot there. Can we get them coming up to the buffers? There we go. Slightly obscuring the J15 here, but actually if I stop it just there, you can see both locos. Admittedly, you can see the backside of the J49. So I guess we'll go a little bit longer. We'll probably go for like another 5 minutes, just so I can, you know, I want to make sure that John gets enough time to see the. Oh no, hang on. Tell you what. Flipping points, flipping all the wrong points. Here we go. Dodgy signalman at work again. Grass1842 says, I can't make my mind up on whether to do a heritage model railway in the countryside or in a river, kind of like Kingsway. Can you help? Well, wait. I admit when I oh, hang on. Let me sorry, swap the shots so you can actually see what's going on. I'll admit when you said you were going to do a heritage railway in a river, I thought you meant like actually, you know, trains running underwater, which would certainly be interesting. Right, there's the J94, or the Austerity rather, making its way back into the fiddle yard for the evening. I'll just flip the point so that it's got somewhere to go. There we go. That's a difficult one to say. My inclination would be, let's tell you what, I'll stop faffing around with this and we can have a look at the J15 again while I chat. My inclination, I do like a river, and Kingswear is nice as well. I suppose it depends. What do you prefer? I mean, can you not have both? Like, I suppose that's partly why I went for the modular railway, because, you know, I could have one module be a part of the countryside, another module be part of the, another module be, what am I talking about? Sorry, I'm just trying to find the J15 on the on my app so that I can run it while I'm talking. Here we go. Let's run it backwards while I'm doing this. So that I can have one module be the countryside and one module be the be a river or a station or whatever or something. You know, because I'm I could never make my mind up. Basically, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. A river could be really fun to do, but I have to be honest. I don't have any experience really with doing like water effects, and water effects is something that you've got to get right on railways. If you're going to do it, you kind of got to do it properly, otherwise it can have a tendency to look a bit rubbish. Certainly if you're modelling countryside, that I think tends to be easier to do. For example, if you saw the modular railway videos I did, one of the really early ones, I think it was like episode 2, where I made those hills and the static grass, and I did that bridge and everything. And I mean, that was like my first time doing scenery, and it's come out really well. So if you're a complete beginner, I guess my inclination would be go for doing the countryside, because there's lots of there's lots of opportunity. There's lots of videos out there and tutorials, and you can use static grass and everything. And I imagine that's a lot easier to sort of put together. If you want something that's going to be like a showstopper, though, that's going to be something a bit bigger, or not bigger, something that's going to be a bit more sort of. I'm trying to think what the right word is. Impressive, I guess. You don't. Well, yeah. Anyone can kind of, with enough thought, can build a railway in a countryside, a model layout that looks like it's in the countryside. It's pretty standard, isn't it? If you're doing like a big river scene with a railway next to it, that's that's something a bit different, and that's quite impressive. And so yeah, if you're willing to, yeah, I'm not being much help here. I'm honest. I'm just kind of going around in circles and telling you stuff. But if it were me, I'd go for countryside purely on the basis that that's what I'm doing with my modular layout, and so that's what I've found easy. But I would definitely like to experiment with doing a river or even a stream of some sort at the point. So yeah, John Smith has said, would express points be prototypical for a shunting yard? That's a good question. So I suspect now the points that we use on model railway layouts are generally a lot smaller than the ones we see in real life. My plan here, by the way, is to couple up to these wagons and then send these off. I'm hoping that I can fit all these in. So yeah, the points that we use on our model railways, like I'm using set track points here, which are massively compressed. They're really, really small. And we're just backing down onto these wagons now. So I suppose that express points would be more prototypical, but obviously they take up a lot more space. If you're using like the Hornby express points, I believe that they have larger plastic frogs, which aren't great for shunting locos. So stuff like the Peckett, which is a lot smaller. It's got a very small wheelbase. They're more likely to stall on those points because they'll lose contact with the track. Right, this is going to be a bit of an interesting situation here. I don't know if I can actually fit all of these wagons and this loco into the siding that I need it to fit in. All right, everyone cross your fingers. So, yes, in a way, express points would be slightly prototypical. Oh no, it's not quite fitted. Right, I'm going to just do a... Right, I'm being naughty here. I'm just going to move that and change the point underneath it. There we go. Right, no one saw that. It's me being naughty because it's the end of the live stream and yeah, didn't want to faff around anymore. Let's have another look at the J15 though, because it is good looking. Where was I? Oh yes, basically in terms of size, the express points probably are more prototypical than streamlined than the set track points rather. But I suspect in terms of model railway running, you'd be better off having the smaller points because then you'll get more into a small amount of space. For example, this shunting layout is about 4 foot long, if that, and it's about a foot and not even a foot and a half. It's like a foot and a bit wide, or deep rather, I should say. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Do whatever you want. If you would like to use express points on your shunting layouts that you're hopefully in the process of building or thinking about building, then that sounds like a great idea. You go for it basically. If you want to do that, that's what you should do. And if not, then if you want to use something else, personally, I would use the smaller points. And actually, we'll see here as the J15 exits the yard. And this will be the end of the live stream here, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We've gone a little bit longer than I intended to. But there we go. I'll leave you with this shot here, just as I get everything sorted out in the fiddle yard. The J15. Thank you again so much to John Smith there. I hope that's your name, for putting that super chat in there right at the end, keeping me on my toes. But thank you so much for suggesting or requesting rather the J15. That was an absolutely awesome loco to end on. Right, a couple of quick ones to finish off. On the main line says, when I renovate my layout, it'll be an autumn countryside with valleys, cliffs, and woodlands. It will also have a quarry and a lake with a separate line for a heritage. Wow, that's a lot on a layout. Fantastic. Well. Best of luck with that. That seems... Oh, there's another message as well. It will also have a separate East Coast mainline loop and village. What do you think? I think it sounds awesome. It sounds very ambitious, and I'm looking... I hope you... I wish you all the best with that. Braden C says, can you give me some tips on the modular layout? basically, if you want any tips on a modular layout, I'd suggest go and watching my videos that I've done on making a modular layout, because that's where all my tips are, really. And certainly there's a few things you can pick up from there that are like things not to do as well. So learn from my mistakes. Oh, I've just seen Sparky129 in the stream. Oh, Sparky says, I got to see the end at least. Nice J15. Oh, thank you so much, Sparky. We did run the Terrier for you earlier on. So if you catch up, if you rewind the stream and watch, it was sort of around the middle, I think, we ran the Stepney for you. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you got to see that. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much to everybody who sent in a super chat. They were Sparky129, who I've just seen in the chat, John Smith, Radislaw Sasha. Sorry, I keep getting that name wrong. And they sent in 2, actually. And then it was Redvers B who sent in 1 as well. So thank you so much to everybody who's sent in a super chat. Thank you so much to everybody who's been tuning in. And I suspect we will be doing another one of these very shortly for the 3,000 subscriber live stream special. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. It's been absolutely awesome to hang out with you guys today. Went a little bit longer than I was intending to, but yeah, it's been absolutely great. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to let you go and enjoy your evenings, whatever you have planned, whatever you're planning to do with the rest of your evening. Hope you have a great rest of your week as well, and I will see you on Sunday with another video. So thank you so much for tuning everybody in, and good night.